Before I even write anything proper, I wanted to say, have a win. I'm so happy to be back doing this anime. I'm a massive, massive fan of the show. I eagerly awaited Season 2 for years and Season 3 for years, so I'm over the moon. Please consider helping to keep this channel going by pledging to the Patreon, linked in the description. It's the only thing that keeps this channel running, and every little bit helps massively. Hope to see you over there, and I hope you enjoy the video. Clearly Subaru is doing some kind of physical training, which is legit great to see after everything he's been through and also being held up by when it comes to his physicality in the past, or lack thereof. A move so nice and a result so sweet that it totally scored its own win. A really nice start taking us to the logo. So hyped. Weird as it may sound, I've heard this song so many times because I'm a massive fan of the OST. So yeah, I love the music in this one so much it can have one. Oh snap, calling me shocked that it's been a year already. No wonder he's physically changed so much, as I dare say that Subaru from seasons 1 and 2 wouldn't have done that well on this little course. It also makes sense how these two are so close now as well, especially as in season 1 she pretty much hated him at the start. The zoomed out shot looking real good and filled with detail. Just the perfect follow-up win to win number 6 Kashira. These two now coming across thick as thieves and like quite the pair. Funny enough, I just winned her in, I think it was Gabriel Dropout, and I find her so utterly adorable in this, so it's such an easy win. Lamo Lamo! That. She is still as absolutely lovely as ever. You might recall from my earlier videos that I really love her in this. Wakana from My Dress Up Darling. That was the perfect amount to show, to win it without upsetting YouTube, but for reference, he did it like 3 times. For me personally, I adore seeing him on their side now, as obviously he butted heads with Subaru over and over again in season 2, but now things have changed since the end of that season, and I love it like this. He plays a really decent straight man in this situation comedy-wise. For clarity, he's trying to compliment his older brother. Such a simple line from her floored me. After all the darkness in this story, it's nice to see some light like this. That she continued to cling to him during the start of the monologue. It's actually really nice for me to see world building being expanded upon in this new season. It's something I craved when I covered the first season. I was obsessed with it for a little while. Purely and simply, Dio. Not only is that song one of my favourites for its built-in sadness, but it's infinitely sweet and also sad that Subaru knocks, hoping she will suddenly answer him. Rem. His speed is genuinely insanely impressive when you consider that he's doing this without breaking so much as a sweat.
亡くなった旦那さんの所領を受け継いだ後、情勢の不安に揺れる周辺の有力者を一気に味方につけました。
I'll avoid showing too much. Luckily he wraps up his statement nice and quick here so I can win how the writer focused on the other women and not just Emilia, further building the world and their characters.
フェルト様が目をつけたのは、能力はあっても性格に難があったり、常に傷のある者たちでした。
Heck yeah, take one for learning more about her as well and how she's focusing on the place where she's lived all her life, which makes total sense for her. Whilst I'm at it, take one for a quick roundup of what all the others have been up to as well.
やっとすごく身に染みました。勝手なことしてごめんなさい。
For context, he was mildly complaining about stress due to all of this, and the win is for her still being such a sweetheart. The first max wins of the video is because not only was this, I think anyway, solid CGI, but it was funny to boot and it contained just a stunning looking sight of the city, like goodness me! Oh wow, that is absolutely beautiful, a work of art and very likely to have taken someone or some people a heck of a long time to put together. But of course you can take another one for this site. And another, why not?
驚いてくれてるみたいやね。そしたらうちもここを選んだ甲斐があるわ。
Far more kawaii than I remember.
アナスタシアさん。
はいな。ようこそプリステラへ。来てくれてありがとうな。
By the by, wanted to quickly say that not only am I happy to be seeing these characters again after so long, but also a new part of the world.
お久しぶりです、エミリア様。
This dude will always be Takio from Oromonogatari or My Love Story to me. Such a great voice actor, happy to be hearing him again.
まさかこの場にあなた様のような行為の精霊が同席されているとは思わなかったものですから。
Might seem over the top at first until you understand that spirits are his bread and butter of his job and a big deal to him on a personal level. Not being cutely dragged off on the spot.
そうやよ。和風建築様式は体木伝来のもん。
和風建築、そりゃ何とも聞き逃せねえ響きだ。
I could be wrong, but my guess is that much like Subaru and Owl, someone else from Japan greatly influenced this culture many years ago, which is such a great element story-wise.
その正体はおそらく俺と同じ異世界。日本から召喚された人間。
Well, absolutely nailed that.
あれが街の中の水の流れを制御してる制御塔なの。塔全体が複雑な仕組みのミーティアになってて。
Such clever world building in an isekai. This is why it's one of my favorites.
まあ、何かあってもベティが何とかしてあげるかしら。
おう、頼りにしてるぜ。んじゃ、エミリアタンが心細くて泣き出す前に合流だ。
The change in the relationship really is vivid as she goes from mildly mocking him to basically saying, if anything does happen, I've got your back basically. Which, by the way, is so rare for him in this world up till now. Genuinely lovely singing.
なんだこれ、よくよく聞いたらひでえ歌詞だな、おい。
That, it's so unexpected.
あなたと私の恋の年の差、周りは変だと言うけれど、私はそんなの気にしてないわ。
I know it's a joke given he's with her and how it seemingly looks to her observing, but I'm just enjoying the song itself.
静かに燃える愛となり、やがて二人にこの通り、きっと二人にこう送り。
Well, safe to say I didn't expect this to happen, and yet here we are.
幼女使いの夏木スバル様ですか？
いや、その二つ名には物申したいけど。
Damn man, what a horrible nickname he ran into along the way.
どうした？
スバル？
Well, the nickname makes more sense when things like this suddenly happen.
すみませんでした。
仕方ないんだから。
Holy shit! I never expected him to turn up all of a sudden. It's like my guts went all tight for a moment. What happens now?
銀色の髪にね。おっとストップ、そこまでだ。
Even though, given what we saw him very sadly able to do to Rem and Kirsch side by side at the time, he could have crushed Subaru, no doubt, I do have to give him mad props for doing his job and stopping his hand here. Animating all of them walking through the scene when they really didn't have to, but they did it anyway because they're legends.
ってお前どっかで見た顔だと思ったら。
I knew it! I haven't seen that first season since I covered it for Wins years ago, so I'm surprised I remembered. But regardless, what a blast from the past.
こんな野郎。ラチンス、戻ってこないと思ったら。
Back-to-back wins here. Firstly, it's for the way that was done, with him sensing a great threat suddenly, and how close he'd gotten to him before it even got set off. And secondly, it's because I love this dude so much in this. I really missed him in Season 2, and I'm utterly beside myself that he's in Season 3. Got a big old smile on my face right now. Half the win is the animation on the transformation, and the other half is me not expecting him to do this and Reinhardt stopping it with one friggin' hand.
白芸の話、後で詳しく聞かせてもらって構わないかい？僕にとってもあの魔獣は無関係ではないんだ。
These are the amazing connections the writer made when crafting this story, that his poor mother was killed by the whale.
さっきのことがよっぽど答えてるみたいだな。
たまにはいい薬なのよ。自分より上がいるとし。
Taking the time to build his character was most unexpected but very welcome here, as right away I was thinking, I bet he's more upset that he snuck up behind him and then he stopped his attack so easily.
あ、スバルキュン。お久しぶりです。
フェリス、クルシさんも。
Genuinely great to see these two again after so long.
ヴィルヘルムさん、お久しぶりです。
And that goes even more so for him, not only because he's a living legend from Season 1, but also because he's got one of my favourite voice actors too, having done great work in Hunter x Hunter and other anime.
なんだ、人揃いしてんじゃねえか。1年ぶりだってのに意外と変わらねえもんだな。
It's shocking to me that she hasn't changed her voice in 10 years since she first started doing it. That's crazy.
お互いに王戦候補者同士、有意義な話し合いにいたしましょう。
And speaking of her, she's also changed a lot in the last year as well from the kid she was in Season 1.
ああ、フィール、心配しなくてもお前は強いよ。でも最強じゃねえ。
I love how Subaru just cuts through to the core of the issue like that.
いや、かしら。
ペアっ子、なんだその格好は。
Her prepping for her end of the coming conversation and acting funny and adorable too.
エミリー・アター。
Kawaii!
本当に育児なしね。私の姿がなぜ見えているのか。
Back-to-back wins again! First of all, I cannot believe she's here. Heck, how many baddies are here in the city in general, so clearly something huge is about to go down. But also, speaking of something huge, or two things, she gets a win.
私を殺した。
Totally rug pulled me there and hurt my hiney, because she's not there, I think. Plot twist? Like Chopper in One Piece, she is one of the all-time cutest characters in all of anime to me. Garth just being an absolute legend and saving these kids like it's no big deal. Great looking grub!
その時、俺様は言ったのさ。てめえらの悪事はお見通しだぜ。三下どもがってな。
かっちょいい、しびれる。
How come Mimi is just so adorable though? Hot damn, didn't expect him to run into someone who somehow looks a heck of a lot like the mother he lost when he was a baby.
かつての私は今以上に口下手で言葉の足らない男でした。剣を振ることが私のすべてでした。
You best believe that after how much the Battle of the White Whale meant to me in the past and its conclusion, and his words to his lost wife and love, that hearing more about it now means a lot to me.
そんな当たり前のことを気づかせてくれた。それからは剣を握るたびに妻を思い出す。
There's really something inherently beautiful about the fact, and quite poetic, that now everything he does when it comes to fighting is built upon his love for his wife.
俺はちっぽけでどうしようもないろくでなしですよ。
ええ、ポケでどうしようもないろくでなしのあなたが私は好きなのです。
Genuinely one of the nicest things he could say in the moment, rather than ever disagreeing with him and trying to build him up. Instead, he essentially says, I like who you are.
そのうちの一つが今の私と孫との間にある溝の原因です。
Half the win is seeing the younger Wilhelm and Reinhard well-aged in both respects, and the other half is hearing more of what led to the mysterious rift between them.
その話を聞きたがってる。きっとあいつも期待してますよ。ウィルヘルムさんが話してくれるのを。
Just as he did with Garth, Subaru expertly cuts through to the core of the issue, especially since, as we saw, Reinhard did look eager to know more of what went down that fateful day, but still, he nailed it.
まったくスバル殿にはかないませんな。
Normally I wouldn't give that its own win, but I loved being right as Wilhelm easily sees a solution to the first stage of their issue, closing the rift between them. You give me a gorgeous morning city shot and I'll trade you a win.
3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、Victory!
These two utterly melt my heart together doing this. I mean, get out of here, it's too cute!
それってまさか暴食の？頼んだぞヨシュア！お前が俺の希望だ！なんであなたに頼まれる必要が？
What starts as a little bit of a funny, why should I help you out scene quickly turns as he understands how deadly serious Subaru is about this gluttony matter, given its importance to Rem. Unsure which is more cute, her flipping it or being so happy about having done so that she mentions it to Boobaroo. I am greatly enjoying what feels like a little bit of downtime before something big happens. Them cooking and eating together, enjoying one another's company, and now the song being nicely sung yet again.
うまく焼けそうにない。コツがあれば教えてもらえないだろうか。
Maybe being pushed forwards by his talk with Subaru, the lyrics in the song, the situation, or a mixture of all three. It's nice to see Wilhelm taking the first steps here. A very fond win from me.
そりゃないぜ。今さら都合が良すぎるんじゃねえか。親父殿。
Bro, that's a legit amazing plot twist right there. Even more so because we've never seen him before now, so it's huge. Also though, overhaul from My Hero Academia.
この無礼なガキ、ぶった切れ。
お言葉ですが、現在私もラインハルトも特務により本来の役目を離れております。
I'm glad he used what is basically a little loophole here to avoid offending him whilst keeping Subaru safe and ensuring peace in that room. But holy shit, the idea that he tasked him to maybe murdering him is nuts.
お前が死なせた先代様の敵討ちをしていただいたんだからな。
やめろハイケル！
先代を殺したと最初にラインハルトをなじったのは他でもないあんたなんだからな。
I really have to give huge credit to the writer. Could have easily kept all the characters largely in place within their stories, and yet has continued to expand upon this family throughout episode 1 so far.
何でも勝ち目のない戦いに担ぎ出されたハンマのお姫様だ。
あなたが私をどう思っているか、今はその話はしていないわ。
Love Amelia right here, because in this very tense situation, she cuts through the tension like a hot knife through butter, directly addressing the man and his reason for being there.
遅いじゃねえか。いつまでも来ねえから肝を冷やしたぜ、プリシラ嬢。
Hate her, but she does earn the kawaii win, but I do it begrudgingly.
プリシラ、そいつを連れてきたのはお前なのか。
誰じゃ貴様は。
覚えてないのかよ。
I can't lie, after how tense everything was, this really broke the ice.
なんでもそらひどくね。城で所信表明した時、大勢の前で大恥さらしたやつがいたじゃん。
So there's actually two wins here. The first is that I now have to say Panda from Jujutsu Kaisen. But also I wanted to honour Kaiji Fujiwara, who voiced him in Season 1 and since sadly passed away. He famously voiced Leorio in Hunter x Hunter and was a favourite of mine also. Rest in peace.
心はいくらでも傷つけていいっていうのかよ。
スバル。
Even just this moment filled me with warmth because it's a constant reminder that he now has allies, which, as I said before, he never really had at many points in Season 1.
僕は
ラインハルト、黙って堂々とした面してろ。
はい。
As I mentioned prior, she's certainly not the same kid she was back in the day, giving him confidence here when he needed it.
姫さん、感触はそこまでだ。
I don't know which shocked me more, that she's even more combat-minded than when she beat up Subaru in Season 1, or that he stopped her from dealing a killing blow all of a sudden.
くそ、頭冷やせ。結局カッカしてたの俺だけじゃねえか。
It is nice to see Subaru growing up a bit too, understanding his flaw, and also what made it worse, that he was the only one really losing his temper in the group.
見ての通りだ。君に感謝を。私に代わり、あの場で義憤をあらわにしてくれた君に感謝したい。
He's such a good character in this, but that aside, it's nice really, because he's saying he too was angry inside, as were others, but it was Subaru losing it that prompted their calm.
事件のせいで奥さんの死に目に会えなかった。だからあの人が逆恨みしてるってか。
Obviously, there's still the mystery surrounding how Reinhard is supposed to be at fault for the death of his mother, but for now, take a win for finally understanding what events led up to her death.
お行儀がいいばっかりの騎士らしさに別にこだわり続ける必要なんかねえだろうが。鎧脱いで有利になってみるのも悪くない。
Subaru throwing out pure sage wisdom during this first episode.
思えばあの時も空の色は普段と違って見えた。
わけわかんねえ。気取るなキザ野郎。
After the last win, this was then hilarious to me. He's like, I'm the main character.
アプリシ
よい、そのシーンに見事である。
As you no doubt recall, and it's a little long to show, she danced to her tunes and then invited her to personally play for her and was turned down. And like Subaru, I thought she'd go ape, so I was shocked too.
そして歌の後はご観覧。夏木様はその時間に向けておやつ丼で準備されるのが良いと思いませんか？
何これ、入って言わないと進まないタイプの茶番選択肢。
For clarity, she said the same thing exactly twice over, and Subaru basically broke the fourth wall.
私は魔女教滞在式をフンド担当シリウス・ロマネ・コンティと申します。
Okay, so 3 wins here. The first is a max because this was a total GLPT for me, meaning a god level plot twist. Everything was cool, then it was confusing, and then holy shit at the end. And then the single is because she's Charizard in the remake of the new Trails first chapter game.
何かあればどうか話して。私、皆さんのためなら割と何でもお話ししますよ。
She's certainly as weird verbally speaking as Petal Goose was back in the day.
ほらこっちにおいで。ずっと待たせてしまってごめんね。
Goodness me, this got creepy and high stakes real quick. I'm losing it.
確かに今は萎縮してしまった。
This is weird and definitely part of whatever ability she must have, right?
やっぱりあった。愛はあったのです。今この時。
Even with all of the creepy weirdness going down, I gotta praise this half rotating shot. Insanely well done zooming out shot showing the madness of the scene as a young boy screams for help in tears and is ignored by the cheering crowd below. bruh. The poor lad's demise took out everyone else at the same time somehow. And yeah, it was shocking, it was brilliantly done, and they got Max for it as Subaru returns. All I can think is that this must be the after effects of feeling what he just felt, losing control of himself, cheering the death of a young victim. Wow. Take one for a banging song for the first credits of the very long first episode, and now we dive right into episode 2, baby.
ダメだ。ペテルギウスは必要にエミリアを狙った。なら同じ滞在司教のシリウスの目的も。
なんなのよ。
Not only does it make for a great scene where he's going over past events and trying to figure out the best way to handle what's going down, he's actually learning as well.
信じて待っててくれ。君は俺が守るから。
気をつけてね。お気をつけて。
I didn't even twig it at first, but that building sound in the background just keeps getting louder, really, filling you with unease. As weird as it is, if someone had me just listen to this, I'd have guessed it was from ReZero. It's got a total ReZero vibe, which is amazing to have by Season 3. Great animation, battles, I loved it. Max wins.
こんなことする必要は。
でも僕が約束守らなきゃ。
I love his return by death in this, because he's able to right such horrible wrongs such as this and so many others in the past. Poor lad.
大丈夫なんだ。だから止まれよ。足の震え。
Oh my words, this is the worst man, because whatever this spell is already taking over his body. Let's just say that happened and leave it at that. I mean, I like the darker side to these stories, so it's a win. Not gonna show it in case it freaks anyone else out like it does me, but she licks his eye. It's so gross, but it gets one because it shows how deranged she is, like Petal Goose was.
そして歌の後はご歓談。夏希様はその時間に向けて。
That look of despair is very fitting given his end there, and the horrors that rushed through his mind as his fears grew to new profound levels twisted by her spell.
気持ち悪い。
スバル大丈夫？
That sound was so sweet. Get out of here with that. This was after the headbutt of Doom he accidentally dished out.
切り替えろ。グズグズしてる暇はない。早くしないと。
I again can appreciate how Subaru is attempting to not dwell on the horrible feelings he's having and instead focusing on how to get over this event having happened and stop her.
魔女教の奴らが来るかもしれねえんだ。てめえ、そんな話をどこで。てめえは確か魔女教の態度。
Thank goodness his prior actions in this world have now allowed him some level of kudos where he's now more likely to be believed when he makes a claim like this than in the past.
てめえも頭下げろよ。
はい、では皆さん。
Ah, she appeared so quickly, but hopefully Reinhard sees the spell and makes it over in time. It's too damn much for me.
はい。皆さんが見てくださるまで21秒かかり。
It was interesting seeing him really trying to resist the urge until the moment it got him.
はいね。
そうかい。それなら僕も手早く終わりにした方が良さそうだね。
So insanely hype-inducing and badass that it's scoring max wins before anything even happens.
それとも君の方かな、スバル。
Equally interesting is seeing him managing to revive them from the spell with a single tap. Max wins here and then a single to follow up. The max is, of course, the action starting as he flies up there so quickly she cannot even finish her sentence and they cross blades in the sky. And the single is for the anti-anime aspect of him not allowing her to finish her sentence. That's big for me.
行こう。ここにいちゃいけない。
It seemingly being over for now, I hope, and Subaru rescuing the poor boy. Let's go! Oh, I'm so anxious right now. I'm guessing he figured something out at the final second that he maybe shouldn't have ended her. It's too much.
何を言い出して、わかったのよ。
That is very much a GLPT all day long. Wow. So yeah, if she has you under the spell and maybe any death occurs, it takes out everyone under the spell. This is incredible.
スバルが話してくれた。それがベティの信じる根拠なのよ。
Her now understanding him so quickly just from his face and the worry behind it.
ラインハルトと同じ戦場に立つと、ベティはただの可愛い子になってしまうかしら。
I said it before and I'm saying it again. I'm so happy that they're such tight allies now and there's such a deep level of trust there.
魔法使いも精霊使いも力を発揮できなくなるかしら。
そんなことが。
That statement alone was shocking enough to earn one.
はっきり言えば、シャマクの出番かしら。
シャマクさん来た!
Oh, okay, fair enough. I thought it was a strength versus strength issue, but no, it's because she needs mana to use spells and he absorbs mana just by being in the area.
今追いかけないと後悔するかもって。何もなかったら私も戻るつもりだったけど。
What a blast from the past when she said this. His big time spell that never did a whole lot in the start, then he started to get the hang of it. Another let's go.
スバルが私を守ろうとしてくれてるの。わかる。でも、それでスバルが傷つくのに目をつむるのは絶対に嫌。
God, it's like even she's changed. At least a little, meaning Priscilla.
あいつだ! あいつが魔女筐体。エミリアタン?
Pretty sure this is a new song in the season and it's absolutely beautiful sounding.
魔法より呪いや呪術に近い魂への干渉なのよ。シャマクじゃ太刀打ちできないかしら。
Biggest of mad lad props to Amelia for wasting zero time and immediately attacking her like a legend.
私は魔女筐体在司教運動担当シリウスのマネ鑑定!
This is the kind of anti-anime I adore so much. You think his spell will work, but once she's seen it in person, it's more now akin to a curse or hex, as she says, than a spell, so Shamak is useless.
私にはモリフクス自由もないとどこまで
She might be an enemy, but my god, that voice acting needed a win for sure. Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention how damn confusing her statements are. Like, Amelia has done something to her. Clearly not Amelia directly, but someone like her, I'm guessing. But yeah, expanding the story.
それなら私にも考えがあるのだね。
The animation looking clean. A prime example of what I refer to as fresh attacks, whereby no animation is repeated. It's all entirely fresh, and I love how it stayed zoomed out for the duration too. And this one is essentially a continuous motion shot once she gets on the move. Even more fresh attacks, baby! Wanted to investigate it, and I don't believe any of her ice magic is being done with CGI, which is most impressive. The scene looked incredible, and then the reveal that she's got, who is no doubt Tina, as a hostage. I'm so confused. It's like he wanted to save her randomly. Someone help me make sense of it.
妻に迎える女性の手を取るのは男として人として当然のことじゃないかい?
My confusion is ever building.
約束通り彼女を僕の79番目の妻にする.
What an ending to the episode. His 79th wife. Dude needs to get himself in order. Jokes aside, that was insane. Easily scoring a win for an ending like that. One of the rare cases where both the OP and the ED get max wins, because again it was a very ReZero-ish song, and then the visuals yet again pushed it well over the edge towards max with tons of animation.
無欲で理性的な僕に対する権利の侵害だ。悪かった。俺の名前は夏木スバルだ。
Obviously, I can't risk showing too much, even though I'll likely get hit for copyright anyway, but yeah, here's another example of how weird these folks are, getting annoyed at not being told his name. This basically confirms for me that these two are not exactly on the same page here, which is great, because in their little group there seems to be discontent, and I love that, even a small amount of it. Such an easy win for the massive reveal that Gluttony is here. Again, won't show it on YouTube, but the realistic reaction from the crowd here.
あのさ、いい加減に気づけよ。
The animation on that swing was stunning, but as is the fact that these two definitely are not teamed up right now at least. Hype!
準備はいいのよ。
Hot damn, you just have to take Max there for that. Those two working well together, phasing through them, him somehow using what Petalkus did back in the day to punch him and everything else. Bruh, this just gets more and more weird, but at least now I know who she was talking about in relation to her love who she lost, so it does make sense, but she now gets that from him, given his ability he used. Anti-anime yet again. One would think, given she said, I found you, I love you, that she would do his bidding when he says, release everyone. But she says no, and then says this. It's shocking.
さっきまでの君の失礼な態度だけど、これでおあいこってことにしよう。
Jesus, he's so strong he kicks back a small rock and takes out Subaru's friggin' leg near enough. Having two paintings in this room of her house might sound weird, but a lot of the time it would just be little frames and that's it.
お客様にはおもてなしとソワリエよっていうものね。
Mimi being such a little darling here when she notices Garth struggling a bit with what he's seeing.
怯えて逃げ出すなんて虎が聞いて呆れるわ。
Now, I know she's definitely not there, and I do believe very much dead given how the prior scene went. So I can now switch my focus to saying I'm glad the writer is honing in on him as a character for growth. She did the thing where she says, are you okay, in a cute alternate way.
本当はリーシアって名前なんじゃねえのか。
あなたは妻の何を知っていらっしゃるんですか。
記憶がねえだと。
嵐の夜のことでした。
母ちゃん、お母さん、行ってくるわね。
I love how it's not just a case of mistaken identity as part of his ongoing character growth, but that it is in fact actually her.
俺様はあんたの奥さんと何の関係もねえさ。
That must have been so hard for him to do, likely because he doesn't want to harm her new life, new husband, new children, and so on.
ジャスタイガーとゴージャスミミはこれにておさらばだぜ。
Getting in on the nickname there.
リアラ、ガーフのお母さんなんでしょ。だってガーフとリアラの匂いすごい似てた。
Just wanted to say, much like Oda with One Piece, I'm glad the writer here went back in time to the night before to show us why these two never turned up in the morning and what they were up to all night.
多分女の胸の中だった気がする。惚れた女の胸で男は泣いてもいい。だから泣いても大丈夫。
The sweetness in this scene is absolutely off the charts, man.
いい子いい子。
I'd be a massive liar if I said that didn't get me emotional right there.
私は魔女教滞在式を色欲担当カペラエメラルド・ルグニカちゃん様です。
3 fairly quick wins here. 1, Ren from the new Trails games. 2, the shock that another of their crew is in the city. And 3, this gorgeous look at the city.
魔女教対策本部っつうとこだな。けど、なんでミューズ紹介なんだ？
2 here now. 1, going without an ED this episode to make it a longer one. And 2, I really liked the idea of them forming a HQ in order to respond to the ongoing threats.
それに加えて4つの制御塔が奪われたことは間違いないようです。塔のてっぺんには魔女教の紋章の書かれた旗が掲げられています。
They are really annoyingly well organized as well, in spite of their chaotic nature, as it's revealed that they've taken some of the most important locations in the city and even strung up their flag.
奴ら何がしてんだ？
この都市に眠る魔女の遺骨。
Finally coming to understand what they want here, and it's a big one.
今日は朝早くから遊びに出かけてしまって、2人とも避難所にもいなくて。
あの2人が
I have to give one here because this is my number 1 song from the 2nd season.
あんたの子供と旦那は俺様が見つけ出してきてやら。
Such a great end to the episode, totally needing its own win. That'll do it for the first quarter video. Please be sure to support the work I do entirely alone on Patreon. Any little helps a lot. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next one. Z, Mine 1435, No Power, Starstad, Hugo 1, Travis Schumacher, Casey Jeffery-Greer, Daniel Jensen, Parenti, Rash Dolphin, yeah, I know, Lucas Frontier, Lelucia Denier, that one weird guy, Athul Krishna, Cody Tiffany, Zay2K, Kalimato 3000, Capitain Otaku, Eshu, Govu9594, Gerlag, LTX Hornet 21, Nathan, Trills reference detected, Sir Sleepyhead, Adarryl Harper, Chris712A, Marcel29, Fish0706, Bear Wolfdog, Sean Graves, Kidbread, Atrachius, Guru Thor, Joe, Lee Maths, JHL10, Ninny, Aussie Gaming 94, Roy the Best Boy, Juice, William Peterson, Mary, Chrono, The Swedish Muggle, Marcellus the Roman, Lily, Nexus 47, AdmiralNugget, Michael Tomlin, James Johnson, Awaki, Timothy Wilcox, Tomo Sandy, Henrik Jensen, Roll Tide West, Detective Games, Aranisia Svaltos, David Ferrix, Olive Wharf, Furious Mo, Mollen Hendris, Salt Lover, Jokerims, Dravona, Rimuru, Gamer Ludwig, Mushwin, Shadow Cleanser, Don, Sean Gray, Logan, Adam Matz, Robert Jackson, Sakomi Aurorum, Thembo, Starkip, Anthony, Miran Adran, Cody Niemeyer, Cosminito 140, Cheese, Cheshire Wolf, Pernicious Lionel, Snowy, Rishan Marco, Austin Manning, Sarcastic Truth, Hitter the Wicked, Owen Halloran, Extinct Hero, Alexander Schwarz, Dante Sol, Flaming Yan, Rodies, Dragon Boy 1, Display 7, Dark Raisin, Spud Delta, Revenge Isn't There, Gaster 1294, Jason Jepson, Eso, Modavirum, Knuckle Duster, Otar A. Bodanisi, Matthew Burr, Ruby Rose, Ghost Rider 176, Silver Cards, Cloud Garden, Whale, Luis Minito, Minimasher, Garrett Vermeesh, Ryan DeViris, AJokerXD, Laxor, TRS, Liam Gagati, Kai158, Mr. Firecool, Wacky Normal, Lionel Schultz, Kevin Elston, Nozomi, Marvin, The Nana Moment, Satai Koyari, Bappo, Devicao, Christopher Willis, Laxus, Michael Lewis, SK Baby, Cecilia, Nick Wyndham, Guru, Kevin 102, Sean, Kelnock, Marquez, Gabe, 420 Blazington 425, Brainless Ben, Oliver Smiley Reacts, Your Edvinson, Capan, Kyle Jones, Peter Milligan, John, Lorena Frazier, Orkeeper, Jason Davies, Nightly Winter, Oscar I. Lopez, Jaffa6263, Storm 970, Alex P, Isel Caldera, Kevin Nelter, Steelers, Crimson Shadows, Ali 50, Birdwithoutaword, 1928, Headshot Hunter, Brandon Creer,